Good morning. Welcome to your online English classroom. My name is Jasna and I will be your English teacher today. For today's lesson, you will need a notebook, a pencil, and a mobile phone to take photos. Are you ready? Great, let's start. In our last lesson, we learned how to describe people, objects, and places using ed and ing adjectives and using comparative and superlative adjectives. Na prethodnom času smo naučili kako da opisujemo ljude, predmete i mesta korišćenjem prideva koji se završavaju na ed ili ing i korišćenjem komparativa i superlativa prideva. Have you done your homework? Excellent, let's take a look at it. For your homework, you had 2 exercises. The one was to write down 6 sentences to describe situation and feeling using the following words: bored, boring, excited, exciting, frightened, and frightening. Ok? Dakle, za domaći zadatak, prvo vežbanje je bilo da napišete 6 rečenica kojima biste opisali situaciju i osjećanje koristeći date reči. Pa da vidimo. Kakve rečenice smo mogli da napišemo za domaći zadatak? The first one. This movie is really boring. Nothing is happening. I feel so bored. Dakle, upotrebili smo pridev boring sa nastavkom ing kako bismo opisali film. This movie is really boring. I feel so bored. Upotrebili smo pridev bored sa nastavkom ed da bismo opisali kako se neko osjeća. I feel so bored. Okay? Tina is very excited. She is on an exciting holiday, full of adventures. Upotrebili smo pridev excited sa nastavkom ed da opišemo kako se Tina osjeća i upotrebili smo pridev exciting sa nastavkom ing da bismo opisali holiday, odnosno odmor. Dakle, opisujemo neku situaciju. And the last one, I feel frightened. This dark room with no lights is so frightening. Iskoristili smo pridev sa nastavkom ed da opišemo osjećanje, kako se neko osjeća, uplašeno, i iskoristili smo pridev frightening sa nastavkom ing da opišemo kakva je bila soba. Okay, and the next exercise was to write 2 sentences for each of your family members to compare them using comparative or superlative of the adjectives: strong, thin, interesting, and good. Dakle, trebalo je da napišete po 2 rečenice za svakog od članova vaše uže porodice kako biste ih uporedili koristeći komparative ili superlative datih prideva. Pa da vidimo kako je to moglo da se uradi. My sister is stronger than my brother. My sister is the strongest person in my family. My brother is thinner than my mother. My brother is the thinnest in my family. My mother is more interesting than my brother. My mother is the best in our family. Okay, that was homework. And now we can move on to another theme. And in today's lesson, you will describe people, objects, and places using the construction as, and not so, as, and describe ability in the present and past using modal verbs can and could. Dakle, na današnjem času ćemo opisivati ljude, predmete i mesta koristeći konstrukciju as i not so ili as, kao i opisivati sposobnost u sadašnjosti i prošlosti koristeći modalne glagole can i could. Let's start. As and not so or as. Comparison. Look at those trees. Pogledajte ovo drveće. Na prethodnom času smo se podsjetili poređenja prideva. Dakle, govorili smo o tome kako možemo da uporedimo ljude, mesta, predmete ili stvari koristeći komparativ ili superlativ prideva. Dakle, we have 3 trees of different heights. Imamo 3 drveta različite visine. This tree is tall. This tree is taller. And this tree is the tallest. But what shall we do if 2 trees are equally tall? The green tree is tall. The red tree is also tall. We can say that the red tree is as tall as the green tree. Dakle, šta ćemo raditi ukoliko su 2 predmeta, u ovom slučaju 2 drveta, iste visine? Kako ćemo njih uporediti? Na sledeći način. Rekli smo, the red tree is as tall as the green tree. Šta to zapravo znači? Crveno drvo je iste visine, isto toliko visoko kao zeleno drvo. The red tree is as tall as the green tree. Look at those apples. We have 2 apples. One is red and another is green. But what about their sizes? Are they equally big? Kakve su one po veličini? Da li su jednakih veličina? Yes, the red apple is big. The green apple is also big. They are equally big. Okay? What can we say now? The green apple is as big as the red apple. Okay? That's how we will compare them. Dakle, na ovaj način ih možemo uporediti i reći da imaju jednu zajedničku karakteristiku, odnosno da su po nečemu jednake. The green apple is as big as the red apple. Dakle, zelena jabuka je isto toliko velika koliko i crvena jabuka. Dakle, upotrebili smo konstrukciju as plus adjective plus as. What is this adjective? Šta znači ovo adjective? Pridev, tako je. Ok. Dakle, upotrebili smo ovu konstrukciju u primjeru as tall as, kada smo govorili o tome da su ova 2 drveta jednake visine. Okay. Then we use the construction as big as kada smo govorili o jabukama i o njihovim veličinama. Pa smo imali red apple and green apple, which are equally big. Dakle, kao što možemo da vidimo, konstrukciju as plus adjective plus as smo koristili u pozitivnim tvrdnjama. Dakle, the construction as plus adjective plus as we use in positive statement when we want to say that something is equal. Dakle, onda kada želimo da kažemo da su neke 2 stvari jednake. And of course, 1 equals 1. Look here, we have 3 people. We have Celeb, Jenny, and Nick. And here we can see how old are they. Celeb is 25 years old. Jenny is also 25 years old. and Nick is 16 years old. Okay? If we want to compare Celeb and Jenny, we would say that Celeb is as old as Jenny. Dakle, kažemo da Celeb je isto star, odnosno iste starosti kao i Jenny. But if we want to compare Jenny and Nick, dakle ako želimo da uporedimo Jenny i Nika po njihovim godinama, we would say Nick is not as old as Jenny. Šta smo ovdje zapravo uradili? Dakle, imali smo prethodnu rečenicu u kojoj smo rekli that Celeb is as old as Jenny, a šta smo u ovoj rečenici dodali, pa smo dobili rečenicu suprotnog značenja. Tako je, dodali smo samo rečicu not, dodali smo negaciju i dobili smo rečenicu koja znači da Nick nije toliko star kao Jenny. We can also say that Nick is not so old as Jenny sa istim značenjem. Dakle, Nick nije toliko star koliko i Jenny. Here we have two kids, Mary and John, and we can see that they are not equally tall, of course. We can say that Mary is tall and that John is not very tall. Okay, are they equally tall? No, they are not. How can we compare them? Kako možemo da ih uporedimo i da ih opišemo? We can say that John is not as tall as Mary, ili John is not so tall as Mary, dakle sa istim značenjem da John nije isto visok koliko i Mary, ili John nije toliko visok koliko je Mary visoka. So, here we use the construction not so or as plus adjective plus as. We had not so tall as or not as tall as when we described Mary and John. Of course, they're not equally tall. And we can say that this construction is used in negative statement. Dakle, možemo da kažemo da ovu konstrukciju not so or as plus adjective plus as koristimo u negativnim tvrdnjama, odnosno kada želimo da kažemo da neke dve stvari nisu jednake. Does not equal. Okay, one does not equal two. Okay, and here, once again, we have positive comparison, 1 equals 1, and we use as, adjective as, and negative comparison, 1 does not equal 2, not as plus adjective plus as. And here we have two examples. Today is as cold as yesterday. Dakle, danas je isto toliko hladno kao juče. I Texas is not as cold as Minnesota. Texas nije toliko hladan koliko i Minnesota. Write down this in your notebooks or take a photo. I'm waiting. Okay, let's practice a bit. Here we have this exercise where you should fill in the comparison with those constructions we mentioned. As, or not so, or as. Dakle, u ovom vežbanju bi trebalo da dopunite rečenice konstrukcijama o kojima smo malo pregovorili. Dakle, dopunite sa as ili not so, or as. The first one has been done as an example for you. John is as tall as Glenn. And now let's see. You have about 10 seconds to think about this and then we will do it together. Shall we start? Okay. We have Janet, and we have this adjective beautiful, and Jennifer. Okay. Of course, Janet is as beautiful as Jennifer. Another one. You are, then we have this crazy and my sister. Yes, we shall say you are as crazy as my sister. We can run fast, they can. Okay. Yes, we can run as fast as they can. Okay, another sentence. Here, pay attention, we have this not given. Yes, my mom is not so strict as your mom. Okay. Dakle, moja mama nije toliko stroga kao tvoja mama. Another one. We also have this not. Okay. Your mobile phone is not as trendy as mine. Okay, and the last one in this exercise is Matrix 2 was not as interesting as Matrix 1. Excellent, great job. Here, another exercise, you have to write 4 sentences to compare the circles using as or not so as. Okay, we have 3 circles, A, B, and C, and we should compare them and see if they have something like, if they have something equal or not. Dakle, trebalo bi da koristeći 4 rečenice i ove konstrukcije o kojima smo malo pre razgovarali, uporedimo ova 3 kruga i vidimo po čemu se oni razlikuju, odnosno po čemu su isti. And here you can take a look at the first sentence, which is done for you. And now you have about 10 seconds to think about the rest 3 sentences. Okay, so the first sentence, circle B is as large as circle C. I rečeno je da je krug B iste veličine, isto toliko veliki, širok kao i krug C. Okay, another sentence comparing circle C and circle B. Okay, now this way. Okay, yes, we can say that circle C is as large as circle B. Okay, let's compare circle B with circle A. Are they equal? They are not, and we will say circle B is not as large as circle A. Okay, and the last one, we will compare circle C with circle A, and we will say, yes, circle C is not as large as circle A. That was excellent. Okay, all true. And now we can move on to this another part of our lesson, and we are going to talk about expressing ability in present and past, can and could. Dakle, preći ćemo na drugi deo časa u kome ćemo govoriti o izražavanju i opisivanju sposobnosti u prošlosti i sadašnjosti korišćenjem modernih glagola can i could. We are going to watch a short movie about a girl named Joha. Watch closely. we saw a short movie about Joha, and we saw that there are certain things that she can and can't do now, and there are some things which she could or couldn't do when she was a child, so in past. Dakle, pogledali smo ovaj kratak film i upoznali devojčicu koja se zove Joha i videli smo šta je to što ona sada može i ne može da uradi, kao i šta je to što je ona mogla ili nije mogla da uradi kada je bila dete, odnosno u prošlosti. Okay. Watch the movie again and then we will finish the sentences. Now we can finish those sentences. Do you remember from the movie? What can and can't Joha do now? Joha can run very fast. Yes, excellent. Joha can't type. Of course. And Joha can't sing. Excellent. Okay. Now let's see, what could Joha do when she was a child? 5 years ago, Joha could eat a whole pizza, yes. And when she was a child, Joha couldn't swim. Excellent. Okay. So, we can say that we use can or can't to talk about abilities in the present. Dakle, reći ćemo da can, odnosno can't, koristimo kada govorimo o sposobnostima koje postoje u sadašnjosti. Kao na primjer, I can play football ili I can't play the violin. Dakle, mogu ili umem da igram fudbal, ali ne mogu ili ne umem da sviram violin. Okay? And we use could or couldn't to talk about the abilities in the past. Dakle, could, odnosno couldn't koristimo kada govorimo o sposobnostima koje su postojale u prošlosti. When I was little, I couldn't speak Italian, but I can now. Dakle, kada sam bila mala, nisam umela da govorim italijanski, ali sada umem. Okay, write this down in your notebooks or take a photo. Zapišite ovo u svesku ili fotografišite. Okay, here we have some examples. So can and negative form cannot or can't. Dakle, can i odrečni oblik, cannot ili can't, skraćeni. We use to talk about the ability in the present. Koristimo da govorimo o sposobnosti u sadašnjosti. I can run fast. You can cook very well. Sally really cannot sing. John can't play the guitar. And could, odnosno could not, i skraćeni oblik odrečnog oblika couldn't, we use to talk about the ability in the past. Dakle, could, odnosno could not u odrečnom obliku i skraćeni oblik odrečnog oblika couldn't, koristimo da govorimo o sposobnostima u prošlosti. Could je zapravo past tense of can, dakle prošlo vreme glagola can. To ste i učili kada ste učili nepravilne glagole. And for example, I could travel a lot when I was young. When I was a child, I couldn't speak French. Here we have an exercise where we should choose can or could and fill in the blanks. Dakle, ovdje bi trebalo da odaberemo can, odnosno could, i da popunimo praznine. The first one has been done as an example. Last year's, I could visit many museums. Okay, so we have last year's and we choose could. Dakle, ovdje smo imali last year's, prošlih godina. Govori se o prošlosti i upotrebljavamo could. Okay, Larry, come to the party now. We have now. Yes, Larry can come to the party now. Okay, another one. You take her to the movies. She will like it. Okay. You can take her to the movies. Of course, she will like it. Perhaps Peter buy the flowers and can buy the gift. Of course, Peter can buy the flowers and can buy the gift. I blow all the candles. I'm so sad. I can't blow all the candles. I'm so sad. Ok, govorimo o sadašnjosti. I posljednja rečenica, when I was 10, I can or could. We're talking about the past, kada sam imao 10 godina, I could swim. In today's lesson, you learned how to describe people, objects, and places using the construction as, and not so, as. Describe ability in the present and past using modal verbs can and could. Na današnjem času smo naučili da opisujemo ljude, predmete i mesta koristeći konstrukciju as i not so or as i da opisujemo sposobnost u sadašnjosti i prošlosti koristeći modalne glagole can or could. Okay, for your homework, you should write 4 sentences to compare an apple and a piece of cake using as plus adjective plus as or not as plus adjective plus as and the following adjectives: healthy, sweet, delicious, or fattening. Ok, dakle za domaći zadatak imate prvo vežbanje u kome bi trebalo da napišete 4 rečenice kojima ćete uporediti jabuku i parče torte koristeći ove konstrukcije koje smo učili as i not as i date prideve. Okay? And another exercise, you should make a list of 5 things you couldn't do when you were little and you can now. Dakle, da napravite spisak, odnosno da napišete 5 stvari koje niste mogli da radite kada ste bili mali, a sada možete. Okay. Write this down or take a photo. Okay, that's all for today. Thank you for your attention. You were great. See you next time. Stay safe and healthy. Goodbye.